endorse this present experience of reality. The God within me is very grateful to welcome the God within you on this podcast. The God within me wonders, what is the cause of the sufferings of the God within me? The God within me wonders, what is the cause of the suffering of the God within you? It feels like the God within you has decided to come upon this experience in order to learn better about himself, isn't it? If yes, let the God within me remind the God within you of that which he already knows. I see a young man in Asia. He is full of vigor. He is a peaceful man. In his life, he is mainly interested about spirituality. He rarely watches the news or even the TV. This young man is not concerned about the matters of the world, as he is aware that sooner or later he will die. Then, when he will die, this world won't have any more importance to him. This young man has witnessed miracles, and now he only wants to know what is the nature of this force which is providing him assistance. One day this man stumbles upon a lady, and the course of his life becomes extraordinary. This young man received from the encounter of this lady information that he is more than the flesh and blood that he perceives. This flesh and blood that he was educated since childhood to believe that it was him. This flesh and blood is only the top of the iceberg, a very tiny fraction of what this young man truly is. From the encounter with the lady, the young man also received information that his presence on this planet is not a random event. His presence on this planet is valuable for the environment. And this young man should learn how to harness his natural abilities. From the encounter with the lady, the young man also received information that after this life is not the end. Another environment for which he should prepare himself today is awaiting for him. After The young man received all these affirmations from the encounter with the lady. Within days, he started to see very clearly the patterns of the world, which are preventing him to transfigure himself and to become who truly is. This young man fought these patterns for years and for years, until one day he became strong enough in knowledge in order to offer to his fellow men some keys to facilitate their personal awakening. Some keys which are going to prevent them from suffering like peasants when they should be living as sovereigns. It is very easy to bring a horse to the grass, but to force the horse to eat is almost impossible. The God within me knows how difficult that is. And the God within me knows exactly why. Now, if this understanding, we now proceed to elaborate on the topic of today, which is the Starseed Awakening Kit. Recommendation 1. The God in you need to meditate every day using the Cooper pyramid. The God within you need to use also the Agni Hotra. The God within you must extend to binaural beats. You must extend to what is called the Schumann harmonics. The God within you must do this meditation at the right time, at the right place. Meditating like this, using these tools, this test setup that was just explained to you, allow for better transmission of information and better transmission of energy with any other targets which is on Earth and any target which is somewhere in the cosmos. So the God within you must meditate as it was just explained, using the tools that was just described, in order to be able to communicate with any target on Earth or anywhere else in the cosmos. Distance is not a problem, but you must meditate using the setup. The God within you must meditate using the setup that was just described to you. This is not an option. If you want to develop if the God within you wants to truly express what he truly is, the God within you must meditate using the setup that I just described. So that was the first recommendation. The second recommendation, the God within you must gaze at the stars using the eye or using a telescope. Every night before going to sleep. This habit is going to allow the God within you to reach other star systems and receive information from those star systems. So this is the second recommendation for the God within you. That is really important. Third recommendation, the God within you need to learn how to lucid dream and to use dream herbs. The God within you will guide and teach the limited portion of itself, which is called the human body. The human body will receive instruction and be in contact with the God within itself by learning lucid dreaming. Receive information about the life purpose, receive knowledge, also be able to perform actions that are not possible for the human being, but are possible for the God within you. The God within you need to perform hypnosis, which is called past life regression, or also quantum healing technique. Doing this past life hypnosis will allow the God within you to know information about the past, because life is a reincarnation cycle. So, you must know your past in order to be able to understand the obstacles of today, in order to be able to understand the qualities that will allow the God within you to create a better future for itself. So it is important for the God within you to do this past life regression hypnosis. You can book a specialist who is going to do this hypnosis for sessions. It is important for the God within you. This is a sixth recommendation. The God within you must learn the sacred alphabets. The speech reflects our thinking. So, the language that the God within you speaks must be a language which reflects the potential of the God within you. If you give a brush and some paint to a painter, then this painter is going to express some masterpieces. But if you give a rock to a painter, he's going to doodle some ugly things on the ground. So depending on the quality of the tools, the language that you give to the God within you, the expression of the God within you will be greater or smaller. So the God within you must learn the sacred language, because this language are the language which transcend space and time. They are language based on the fabric of reality. They are not random languages. Recommendation number 8. The God within you must learn how to develop Kundalini. There are different techniques, different machines in order to develop Kundalini. It is important as a God within you learn how to develop Kundalini, because Kundalini is the next step in the evolution of mankind. This is not some superpower. Kundalini is natural. It is a natural next step of evolution for mankind. It is not a superpower. Everybody must develop Kundalini. It is important that the God within you learn how to cultivate the aura, cultivate the energy within using various techniques that we are going to learn. So those are recommendations for the God within you in order to awaken to its full potential. Thank you. See you to the next podcast.